We are live. I am Karen Ray. Welcome to Fave Lifestyles. We have a series going of women who inspire. And today I have Lori Whaley with me. I'm so excited to have you here, Lori. Welcome to Fave Lifestyles.
Well, thank you, Karen. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, and today we are going to be talking a little bit about Lori's story, the Code of Bushido, and on the gum. Okay, now I'm going to say it wrong. Gumburo?
Almost Gambaru.
Gumbo.
Very close. Very good.
Yes, thank you. And so, oh my goodness. So, Lori, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Love that question. Well, when I was 9, Joe Willis tripped me, punched me in the gut, and said, "You're a fat, ugly Jap." And after that, I didn't want anything to do with my heritage. I didn't even go to Japan until I was married. Then in 1982, my husband and I traveled to Japan and met my father's rich cousins. They gave us a copy of our Tsugawa family tree and our family crest. Domo arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Then a few days later, we went to the Jidai Matsuri, and it was a fabulous historical procession in Kyoto with over 2,000 people dressed all in period attire. And for me, the highlight was this female samurai, Tomoe Gozen. And I had no idea there were female samurais.
Yeah.
She was so strong and regal, and she really impressed me. Then we returned home, unpacked my goods and my Japanese heritage until 2007, I was rendered the second time in 18 months. I was totally messed up with mild traumatic brain injury, and there was nothing mild about my condition. Suffered chronic pain all over my body, reading at a 7th grade level, and diagnosed with mild traumatic brain injury. So I went to over 1,000 appointments in order to regain wellness. My speech, my hearing, my speech and my eyesight were all messed up. Lots of appointments. And it taught me to face my fears because I really didn't like doctors. Then I started thinking about that female samurai, Tomoe Gozen, and with whatever brain power I had at that time, I decided to research. And I decided that discovered that the samurai lived by the Code of Bushido. And that includes 7 principles, and I'll be covering that later: courage, honor, benevolence, respect, honesty, and loyalty. Let's see, courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. And the samurai was so dedicated to that code that they were willing to risk their lives. So I continued to research, and then all of a sudden I see this image on the internet, and I told my husband, I said, look, there's this, that's our family crest. It was our family crest, and there were it's one of the 5 main samurai crests of feudal Japan. So I knew that DNA of the samurai was in my blood. So I decided to write a book and continue to research, and every day I would write. And as I continued to write, my vision, my hearing, my eyesight all got better, and my mind started coming into a line because it was so messed out. It was way out and all over the map. So,
yes. Well, Lori, it really sounds like you took this code and just really applied it to your life and persisted.
Yes, that was it. And then that's the other thing I'm going to talk about is Gambaru, never give up. And so I wrote the book, and when that shipment of books arrived, I thought, yes, that samurai spirit really is in me. And so then I decided to go up and down the West Coast and talk to anybody, and now we do it virtually, to talk about the Code of Bushido, because it can be a person's anchor in the sea of turmoil and a guide through the maze of life. So
I love that. Yes. How do you have taken your trauma, your struggle, and created this wonderful program for people to take advantage of and to apply to their lives as well? Because as we know, we all go through things.
Yes.
You know, you happen to have gone through something very major and very traumatic, but even just our daily struggles that we go through, self-doubt or whatever, that sounds like that would be a great thing to apply that code to. So let's talk a little bit about that. Describe what is the Code of Bushido, and tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, great. The Code of Bushido is the code of ethics that the samurai lived by, and it was developed as the samurai developed and they became more powerful. They had this code of ethics, as which include courage, integrity, benevolence, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. And because of the code, I believe that Japan is a very safe country. You can go
Mhm.
there and not feel like you're going to be pickpocketed. It's one of the safest places in the world to travel. And I believe it because you could walk down the street in the middle, well, late at night in Kyoto, that's where we usually stay, and not feel like you're going to be invaded or people take advantage of you. You even see young children go on the public transportation like under 10, and they're by themselves or they're with a friend, and you'd never see that here in this country. So they really do that honor code has just developed a society that's very pleasant if you ever travel there. Courage, and I love courage. It's not being afraid, but it's to face your fears, and it's like taking a calculated risk. And the person that inspired me to write the book was a man named Chuni Sugihara, who was a vice consul from Japan during World War II. He risked everything. He risked his career, his life, his livelihood, just to save the lives of Jewish people, because the government of Japan says, no, don't write those transit visas, when he had the power to do it. But he went ahead and did it anyway, because he said, what's wrong with saving lives? And so that his story just amazes me. And because of him, over 6,000 Jewish lives were saved. And they wanted to save more, but they had a limited amount of time, and then they were forced to leave.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
what a great thing to model your program over. So tell me, so you have this code. So how do you teach people to start applying that to their lives?
Okay. Well, it's not like a formula. It's a mindset.
Okay.
It's a decision to do the right thing. And you always have to ask yourself, what would happen? What code can I use if you're in a situation where you have the opportunity or ability to, say, gossip or shortchange somebody, or not do the right thing, or say, I'm going to do it, and then, gloss by. And that happens so often in our workplace, and it can happen today in our business lives. So you always have to remember, or actually I love to remember, about what would the samurai do? What would they do in there? Because their word was their bond, and Japan is not a litigious country. So if you say something, you do it, and you're held to that. They don't have you sign a contract. Your word is your bond, and your word is, yeah, and it's your honor. And to lose face is so devastating in Japan.
Right. Right. And I love those things, especially courage. I think as a lot of women, just the way we've grown up, depending on what era you grew up in, but women who are a more interesting age, I think that courage sometimes they get lost. Because that's not something we talk about. Let's go be courageous. Let's go be brave. And that I love having some words around that and what the meaning is, and maybe stopping. Maybe we're starting a business or something, and how can we be courageous today?
Uh-huh.
Give us some examples.
Yes, my mom was a really good example. Right after the Mountain Blue, they purchased some property, and my dad says, well, what are we going to do with it? My mom says, oh, well, I'm going to run it. And she had never run a business in her life before, but she goes, I'm going to do it. Empty nester. So she put everything into this nursery. And one day, the only thing she sold was one lonely geranium. And she wanted to quit, but she says, I can't. This is what I've taught my children all our lives. Don't give up. You cannot give up, because there's always a way. And I love that. She would always say, oh, there's a way. And just like with our goals, like if a person wants to lose weight, well, lose weight on one side. And then on the other side, there are people that offer health and nutrition and coaching, and to eat the right food. You can do allergy tests, blood tests. So on one side, you have a goal. On the other side, there's someone else that has a goal to help you reach your goal.
Yes. So I'm just going to take a moment and say hello to some of the ladies that are out there watching us. We have a few comments here, and that they're saying hello, and one says you are so inspiring, Lori, and also there is always a way. And Lori, I think you hit something really important. Was there's people there to help you.
Yes.
That is one thing. Somebody like you to have those tools to put in our toolbox to inspire us, to remind us to be courageous, or that honor. And what a great way to respect other people with the Code of Bushido.
Yes, it is. It's very honorable. And had the accident, had it not happened, I don't know if I'd written the book, or would I be here with you today? Because from that, it kind of full circle, going from something that was very painful, being Japanese, to now embracing it. And I love it. And that's what I talk about. And I'm connecting with Japanese people that speak Japanese so I can speak Japanese better. But it really is in me. And of all my brothers and sisters, there were 6 of us. I was the only one that had an interest and started learning Japanese. And I've been to Japan quite a few times. And had it not been for COVID, I would have taken a group of women to Kyoto for almost 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, yes. I have had the privilege to travel there. And yes, Japan, like you said, seeing the little kids going on the subway. I mean, I think some of them were even like 5 years old. And to see them in their cute little yellow hats and their yellow jackets, holding hands with their little friend was just amazing. I thought they must feel so safe that the parents will allow their children to go take the subway to school.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
It is. It really is amazing. So, so let's talk a little bit about trying your hardest, doing your best, and never giving up, and then going for broke.
Okay, well, that was, although it wasn't part of the Code of Bushido, in my book, I'll do a shameless plug for it.
Absolutely. Let the samurai guide.
Yeah, let the samurai be your guide. In the book, I added Ganbaru because I wanted my mom in there. My mom was always an inspiration to me, and I couldn't figure out where in the code that she belonged, and we just kept almost racking our brain. I go, oh, that's it. I'm going to add something. And so I believe Ganbaru, it embodies the whole samurai. Try your hardest, never give up, do your best, and go for broke. And they would go to battle even if knowing that they were outnumbered, or their opponent had better equipped. They went in anyway, because that was what they stood for. So they went into battle knowing that they would lose, and they weren't considered losers. Sometimes they're the tragic hero, but Japanese, it would be better to face the battle than to give up and say retreat. So they never gave up. They never gave up.
Yeah,
that's what I love to share with people and teach people, is that there is always a way. And for me to do this, I'm a baby boomer, so you can guess how old I am to do something like this. But it's in my heart, and I just want to help people and share with people and inspire people as much as I can.
Yes,
so that's it.
Yes, and talking about your story, so you still have lingering effects from the TBI. Is that correct?
I call it residual.
Residual.
Yes.
You still have things that you have to work through, and really, never give up still. So sounds like you must have to still apply that to your own life as well.
Oh, yes, I do. Just try your hardest, do your best, never give up, and go for broke, and just ask yourself, am I doing the best? Who can help me? How can I reach out to this person? For instance, yesterday, a woman reached out to me, and I went on my mastermind retreat, and I just posted some pictures, and she said, where is it? And I go, well, I didn't want to post where it was. It's almost unbelievable, but it was at the Four Seasons in California. And it was like a year ago, I wouldn't have believed that I would be down there in California to that mastermind, but I went, and it's been very, very helpful, because I love input. I love continuing to learn. And that's another concept in Japanese, in the culture, it's called kaizen, constantly improving. So that's something else I could add, is that you always improve. You could always improve. People that are, as I guess you could say, I'm a performer, because I do storytelling and speaking. One is usually not satisfied with themselves. You look at it and go, oh, I could have done this, or I could have done that. And never perfection. And I'm sure actors and actresses feel the same way, that they could have done a little bit better here or there. And that's why they have so many takes. But as a speaker and a Toastmaster or even storyteller, there isn't another take. You have to be able to overcome. And so that's one reason I really like storytelling, because sometimes you do make a mistake and you just get to laugh about it because it's folktales, right? And you're the silly little puppet person. And I enjoy that too. I love doing that.
Oh, yeah. So you have many facets to you. You, like you said, you are a storyteller, you are a life coach, you are an author. Lori, you have done more things than a lot of people who haven't had the huge challenge and of TBI and the accidents and all that you have come through. So what an inspiration. And I love the women in our community. You constantly inspire me. I'm just like, oh my gosh, look what Lori's doing. And I see you posting and your newsletters and everything. And it's just really wonderful. So tell the ladies a little bit what you do, how you can help them.
Well, I can help you first by, pardon me, thank you for this opportunity, Karen. And I know that I want to do more group coaching. I've done individual coaching, but I feel that if I do it as a group, that collectively people can learn from each other, and I'll be able to spread and help more people by doing that. And there's 7 Code of Bushido, and so there's 7 chapters, actually 8 with Gambaru, and we'll be going over that and reading the book as a guideline, because the book is it's, shall I say, it's rich in content, but it's not hard to read. And I've had people say that, I'm not a reader, but I read through the book, and people of all ages. So it's very, shall we say, universal. People, I've even had high school students say, I could understand it. College people have contacted me, emailed me, even from Australia. And so I know that now that the book is published by Tuttle, it will be able to reach a broader audience. And I'm really happy and thankful about that. And now, Karen, with your help, you're so gracious to be able to do more live interviews and not be so daunted by technology, because my right side is very, very active. It's very vibrant, and it's my left side sometimes says, "Huh, what's going on?" Huh? And that actually that happened in a pardon me, in a massage therapy. I did cranial sacral therapy one time, actually for about 2 years. And she said, well, Lori, she said, your right brain is vibrant and it's active, and your left side's going, huh? What's going on?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so thankful to you, Karen. I'm just really thankful for this opportunity, and the people you've introduced me to help be more effective in my emails, and people that are helping me with social media. So one cannot do it all, and unless you're the Renaissance woman, and then you wouldn't be able to really share your message. If you did everything, then you can't.
You can't.
Or at least I can't.
Yes, and I just love that Code of Bushido. Just think if they taught something like that in the schools from a young age, that honor, that integrity, benevolence, I forget all of them, and the courage just to inspire other people to, what in this situation, what would we do? I love the whole concept of that, and as a guiding light in our business and in our personal lives. And like you talked about, having your word be your bond. I think that we've lost that in a lot of places, and would love to see that encouraging people.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Lori, love what you're doing. So tell us, how can people connect with you?
Okay, you can connect to me. It's very easy. It's just Lori, Lori, at LoriWhaley.com, LoriWhaley.com. And I have a newsletter, and I will be going live more often. I'm getting over this aversion to cameras, and being in the accident, I had to face my fears of doctors. I just didn't like doctors, and so that's what the accident has actually helped me face my fears of, doctors. Who likes doctors?
Yeah.
And then the technology part, I'm facing it, and it's not fun, but I'm going to do it. I'm very active on my right side. I do all kinds of masterminds and workshops and things like that. I do Toastmasters, but I'm getting that part. Getting more confident in that part, so that the left side won't be so daunting. And I'll be here for the next 3. I believe this is my first of 3 interviews or something like that.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to that. And Karen, you're such a gem. I just thank you so much.
Yes, it is just such a delight to talk with you. So we'll have you put all your links, and you also have a Facebook group, so you can put that in the comments.
Oh, yes. The Samurai group. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So, and ladies, feel free to reach out to Lori. That is one of the blessings of our community here at Fave Lifestyles, is that you have access to these ladies. You can ask them a question. If you need some help guiding you through life, please reach out. That's what we're here for, to support you, to help you create that inspired life for yourself. So, Lori, it was great talking with you, and we will be back again next week and continue our conversations. And so, ladies, it's always a pleasure, and have a beautiful day. Well, bye now.
Bye. Thank you.